Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. It's been a hot minute. It's been a real hot minute. I had some things I had to learn. I had some things I had to go through. I had some things that I just had to deal with, and then some more things. And I'm sure you all feel the same way about that. Okay, so I'm going to shift this channel over a little bit. I might pull out some cards when called to. I'm not being called to today, but I need to disclose what we're going to be shifting into, which is when we're in dance with the cosmos and our own psyches, when we're in that dance, we have focused so hard for so long what we have been receiving, and that's been our focal point. We've been focusing on what planets are sending us what energy at what degree, and we, at least as far as I know, as far as I've tried to explore, find, sift, whatever, I haven't found one person who's asked the question, what are we putting into the cosmos? And so I find myself in this peculiar situation of curiosity. Let's go with that word. The curiosity to know what the cosmos hears when we speak, when we vibrate, when we make sound, when we make choices, when we drop pebbles in the cosmic pond. So that's what we're going to be exploring, and this is new for me. I don't have anything, I'll use astrology, but I have to go on current events and whatever else, and it's very overwhelming, so you're going to have to give me some grace to find my footing. And so I've been collecting, but it's a lot to have to weave into something and then present people with when I am still trying to find my own footing on the web I'm creating. So, and I'm busy trying to make my money on the side and whatnot, and creating content for that. And so, it's going to be just a little bit here and there. And, my courses are currently closed because they're filled, and I have to get this out. I have to get this out. I don't have a lot of time on my plate, but I have to get this out. I have to start this today. Today, I have to start this. Today. So I have to get this out off my plate before it starts causing literal dis-ease in my body. And so how I'm going to attempt to place this together in some sort of way is still quite unknown. I have all the bits and parts and pieces. I'm just finding the connect point, which is, so when we put out into the cosmos a particular movement, idea, function, what is the cosmos responding with? And we can trace that throughout history a little bit. Unfortunately, the people who were holding the pens were not reporting on what was actually happening. They were like, we won, blah, 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 blah. And the closest we could get to is some World War II survivors on what was actually happening on the ground. And that's pretty sparse as well. So, in formulating that translation in my own psyche and trying to sift through that to find those energetic patterns on how to trace the transfer of information, if you will, this cosmic dance, and how we're contributing to it. Is again, still being formed under my feet, but I am going to start being more diligent about my documentation as to when we set the bottle or the pot to boil, and we are boiling absolutely, how the cosmos receives those electromagnetic signals, if you will. So there it is. There's the premise for you. You have the platform that I'm trying to find my footing on, which is we do emit back into the cosmos, and they do receive our information, and it matters. It matters more than probably their input back to us, because they have received our information in history and put it back to us. And so bringing into some conscious awareness of what we put out to them. So I think I'm gonna just keep this. I have notes here that I'm now backing off of putting into, because I think this is so overwhelming just for people to absorb just by listening to it, that we have this crazy consideration of our own existence in the cosmic dance. It's not how we respond to it personally, per se, but there is a collective, obviously, with the 3 outer planets. There's a collective frequency that we have, and that does get emitted. And how the cosmos responds to that. So it's that translation in between what we put out, what they receive, and then what they send back in return, and then what we send back in return. So how can we, how could I put this in a way that you can kind of comprehend, that we have an example of, a concrete example of, is that experiment that they did with the chimps. The chimps were on the island, right? And the chimps on the mainland found something, or the chimps on the island found some different cool way to get food that was easier, more proficient, yada, yada, yada. So even though there was no chimps going back and forth on a boat from the island or swimming or whatnot, they both started eventually doing the thing to get the food, to whatever it was. That's what I'm talking about. That unseen, energetic communication. Now you can call that telepathy, you can call it whatever you want, but it's not woo-woo. We have more than enough documentation of that. We have more than enough evidence of that. We have more than enough within ourselves to tap back into that. And when I say back into that, yeah, we used to have that. We used to have that. That's... You think we had enough people in the tribe to go through all these herbs to figure out which one wasn't going to kill us? No. No. So, we did not have enough humans back in the day to be like, Jimmy, you're next. If you die, thanks for all you've done for us. Bye. No. That's not how that worked at all. Under any circumstances, we communicated like we communicate with each other, but with a non-verbal language that does not, it doesn't even require words. When we're in that state of telepathy, it's an inner state of intuition, and that's, kind of what the systems that we have in place today work vehemently towards vetting out of us in the most brutal way possible. So that the getting back to that is where my courses are directed. It's getting you back to safe in the body, back to tapping into that intuition. And the pushback from society is astronomical on that. So navigating that to understand that, when somebody wants to pull the rug, they're going to try to pull the rug. Your job is to not stand on the rug. That's kind of where my courses are. So when we're traversing, I don't know if that's the correct word, through our lives and communicating with the cosmos, okay, collectively we just made the marriage age down to, like, what was it, 14, 12, somewhere in there, age 14, 12, and we don't have any safety mechanisms for those children at all anymore. We're vetting all that DEI stuff. All that mandatory reporting is going to go away. We're opening concentration camps for homeless people. We are doing all this stuff, right? So that's sending to the cosmos something, and now we're going to figure out how the cosmos is going to respond to that. That's right. So comprehending the deities, just the energetic patterns. I don't think of them as gods or goddesses. They're energetic patterns. Everything's energy. There's no one thing that's above or below or whatever it is. There's a unity or there's a breaking apart. So right now we're severely broken, shattered, if you will. And so figuring out how to talk to the cosmos in the correct way where it's going to respond, it's just like having an argument. If you're not listening to the other party involved, you're going to respond correctly. So if you can't hear what's coming in and you don't know what you're putting out, how is that going to be a cohesive conversation? Just saying. So that's what I'm getting to. So I'm Yoda. Okay, that's my dog. I should not have put his butt so close to the camera. Sorry. Okay. All right, we're good, sort of, except for he's wiggling the camera. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave it there, let that digest, and then I'll just... Sorry, Yoda. I will let that digest, let you think about it, let you maneuver through it, and then I'll start with the doozy. I'll start with what everybody wants to know, how to deal with a freaking psychopath, because you're not going to appeal to their emotions. So that's number one. So just, I'm going to leave you with that before my dog completely takes out my camera stand, okay? I love you. Until next time, keep your flame and take back your power.